Okay, so I've been thinking a lot lately about listening. Listening to my paint, listening to my medium, Neo McGilt, listening to my brushes, listening to the paint, the canvas rather, the surfaces I'm working on. But most of all, listening to my reference material. If you watched the live feed yesterday, you know that I really struggled all day long. It was kind of ridiculous. I dropped all my brushes, I dropped paint, I dropped my Neo McGilt, I dropped 3 jars of mineral spirits. I have almost none left now. It was just a frustrating mess and ridiculous. And I was really frustrated with Mehitable. I had been trying to force her eyes in a different direction. I've been trying to force her face to be something other than what she is. I was trying to force her into a shape and color and tone and blah blah that I thought would be really interesting. And I didn't even realize I was doing it. I was doing it without thought. So what I was doing was telling Mehitable who she should be. And it wasn't working out, let's put it that way. In 12-step groups, and I've been in and out of 12-step groups for 13, 14 years, we have something called crosstalk. And that's when a speaker is interrupted by someone who then needs to convey what the speaker should be doing, you know, how they should be conducting themselves. The speaker A, the one who has the floor, is then interrupted, and speaker B imposes their ideas or their belief system on speaker A. So we have no crosstalk rule in 12-step. That means this can't happen. In 12-step programs and in no crosstalk discussion groups, it's so that the speaker feels heard. The speaker is allowed to say what is in their heart, what is in their mind in a safe space. And it's also so the listeners in the room can take in what is being said and intellectualize it. How does it apply to them? And so it's a win-win. No one's feelings are hurt, blah, blah, you know, and you develop a better relationship or better communication skills, I guess it is. Well, I haven't been applying those communication skills to my artwork. And it's really unfortunate because this is how I keep running into the same issue over and over again. At some point in every painting, it all goes awry. I have a fit. Eventually it works out, but there's a lot of anger, and I have a bad relationship with the reference material for a while, and we don't want that. We want to avoid it. So what I have to remember to do is not to crosstalk, not to tell my subject matter who they're going to be, what they're going to eventually look like, what they feel like, what they should feel like, what their energy is. I have to remember not to do that. I have to remember not to tell my paints what to do. Wait a minute, let me say. I have to learn to listen to my paints, to my medium. Listen to the reference material, listen to the brushes. Because I have a bad habit of picking up like a filbert, because I love them, a little filbert brush, and pretending, you know, it's a round brush or it's a pointy brush. And then I get frustrated and upset that it's not doing what I want. I have a tendency to take a teal and pretend it might work out as a blue. When it doesn't, it'll flatten out the painting, which happened in here a couple of times. I try and be clever. I try and actively be clever by using a spring green and adding like a nice sunshine yellow or something and some Neo McGilt. When actually, what Mehitable, my paint, the canvas, the brushes, everything is telling me is to apply a little bit of Caucasian color to make her feel three-dimensional and make her feel correct. So that is my admission of the day. I wasn't listening, so I was having a really bad relationship with poor little Mehitable. But since I decided to start listening, our relationship has improved greatly, and I believe she's just about done. I'm going to put her to the side, let her dry for a little bit while I work on my relationship with Maggie or Juarez, and also Alopecia, another piece that I've been working on off and on for months. And I can feel her getting better. I can feel Alopecia's energy. I can feel her stance. I can feel her curviness, feel her weight. But what I have to do is really listen to alopecia and what my reference material on her is telling me. And also listen to the paints. What are they telling me? Are they saying, you know, put white on top of white on top of white? Are they saying, please go cautiously in this direction? I think it's a mistake I've made millions of times, and hopefully I won't make again, but I will. I know I will, because this is just how I paint. Anyway, I'm gonna get to work now. Ciao.